Whether you're watching live or on replay, welcome. My name is Andrea Sampson, and I'm the CEO and founder of Talk Boutique and the Thought Leader Academy. And today we're going to talk about how to build your professional network on LinkedIn. I started my journey on LinkedIn almost 2 years ago. At the time, I only had a couple of thousand followers and didn't really look at LinkedIn as a business tool other than as a place to really host my resume. At the time, I was at the beginning of my thought leader journey, and I knew I had to build my own personal brand and I needed to build my community. These are two essential elements of thought leadership. And what I needed to do was to start creating a platform for myself on social media. And when I look at where my audience is, so many of them live on LinkedIn because the reality is I work with a lot of business people. So I hired a LinkedIn coach. And he started helping me to understand how to use this complex platform in a way that would help me build not only my community, but also my business. And I learned a lot from my coach. And I continue to work with Corey all the time. In fact, he's one of our coaches at the Thought Leader Academy. But the first thing he had me do was he had me posting regularly. We went through my profile, we went through my posting, we went through the ways in which I interacted on a regular basis. And within the first 3 months, I went from having just a couple of thousand people as followers to having close to 20,000 people as followers. And over the past 18 months since I started with Corey, I'm now over 150,000 followers on LinkedIn and counting every day. I typically get between 100 and 200 followers a week. And some weeks I get over 1,000. It just depends on the content. And from a views perspective, my LinkedIn generates over 500,000 views a week on my content. My original goal was to build a community and to build my personal brand. And with 500,000 views a week and 150,000 followers, I think LinkedIn has delivered for me. But how did I do it? Well, my top 3 tips on what to do to get yourself started on LinkedIn are this. I'm there every day. And it's actually one of the most important things is to make sure that you are managing your profile daily. That means engaging with other accounts, finding those who are thought leaders, who have large followings, engaging with them. It means also posting every day. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's important. Your voice needs to get out there and your message needs to be listened to and seen every day. And in order to do that, like all social networks, you're governed by an algorithm. And that algorithm looks for those who post on a regular basis. So every day you're posting something, you're engaging with others, and you're commenting. Also, when you think about your own posts, don't forget to give them some love too, like your own posts. That may sound a little bit egocentric, but in reality, this is part of what it takes to get the algorithm to see you. Liking your own posts, liking other people's posts, and commenting on other people's posts. Posting every day. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, make sure that your content is interesting and provides value to others. So many people use LinkedIn as a way to network or to sell, and that's really not what it's meant for. LinkedIn is a tool where you can build a community. And in order to build a community, you need to offer value to them. So, how are you contributing to your community on LinkedIn? Your posts can be in some way educational in nature, but not self promotional. They need to, in some way, provide new information for your listener or reader. Also, use video. Video is a great way to get seen. The algorithm likes video, so it is important. But more importantly, it's when it's in a news feed amongst a lot of other static content, which is what tends to be put on LinkedIn, your post will get seen because it's not static. And make sure that your video and the caption you put on it, where you're providing your value to your community, match each other. Some people like to use videos that have no relationship to the content. That's both not great for your community, but it's also not good for the algorithm because it actually looks at the content as well as the caption. So, tip number 2, make sure your content is providing value to the community that you're creating. Tip number 3, your profile. Your profile is, in fact, a billboard for you. Your news feed is where you offer value to your community. Your profile is where your community can find out what it is you do, what you sell, and how they might be able to work with you. So, this is the place where you can put elements of selling. So, look at the image in the background on your profile. How is it supporting who you are, what you do, and the thought leadership you're putting out in the world? Look at your image, your face. That's really important. Having a picture where we can see you. That's how your community gets to know who you are. So make sure that that image is of you looking directly into the camera and that your face is big enough that when it's in a comment, we can still see that face. Now, what's your headline? Now, that is a place that a lot of people just put their title. And while that's important in some cases, it's really not all that interesting. And that headline is shown every time you comment on somebody else's post. And so you want that headline to say something about you, not what you do, but who you are and what you offer. So, how are you creating a call to action or an opportunity for someone to engage with you by using that headline? If you look at my headline, you'll see that it says exactly what it is I do. I help to transform experts and changemakers into thought leaders by helping them to become storytellers. And I help them get on some of the world's largest stages. So that's what I do. It is in my headline. So my face and my headline become a call to action for anyone who sees it on any post I've engaged with. Also, by creating a book a meeting link on your profile, which I'll tell you about in a moment, that also goes with your face and your headline everywhere. So now it literally is a call to action. Now, doing that means you've got to go into your profile and you add a custom button. In that custom button, you can put any URL you want. LinkedIn gives you the categories, but what goes into that category is up to you. So for me, it says book a meeting. When you click on that, you're getting to a link tree where you can download some tools. You can book a meeting with me, but you can also join our Thought Leader Academy. So I've given you different ways in which that you can interact with me. So those people who are interested in booking a meeting with me find out that actually they can get some free tools, or they can work directly with me through the Thought Leader Academy, or they can sign up for my newsletter. So different ways in which to work with me. So your profile is the place where you want to sell. Newsfeed is where you want to encourage and invite people in through value. And your engagement is the way in which you make sure that others know you exist. Doing that every day is really, really important. Now that you've learned how to use LinkedIn as a tool to build your brand and to build your community, along with building your voice, because remember, every time you post, you're communicating what it is you do. I didn't talk about the content that you're posting other than to say it should add value. But one of the things that I've learned is that when you tell a story in your content, it engages people. So I want to help you to start and get out of the gates with your content. We have a free tool called the Story Spine, and I'd love for you to be able to have access to that tool so you can start building your content using story. What I know about story is that it engages people in ways that they don't even understand. It helps us to emotionally connect with our audience. It helps us to contextualize the ideas we're putting forward. And most importantly, it gives us a way to build content quickly and easily. And so the story spine is going to be your friend as you're getting started on your LinkedIn journey. So make sure that you click on the link below and download your free copy of the Story Spine. Thanks so much for joining me here. Now, if you're new here, make sure that you've clicked the subscribe button because I'm back here on a regular basis, posting new content, new tips, and providing you with new frameworks and tools that are going to help you build your thought leadership in the world. And also make sure you click the like button because that really helps the channel and it helps others to find me as well. And I know that we all want to help each other out in building communities. And I want to thank you in advance for doing that. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you.